Okay guys, let's start standing at the back of our mat. So just start off feet hip width apart, let your arms relax by your side, and then just start to let your breath be a little bit more intentional. So as you inhale, just breathing in through the nose, let the belly fill. And then as you exhale, just breathing out through the nose, let the belly fall. Do that a few more times, eyes can close, inhale, exhale. Maybe breathing out through the mouth now, maybe bringing the hands onto the belly. Inhale into that space. And then exhale, gently letting the belly come a little bit more empty and hugging that baby in. One more time, inhale and exhale. Lovely. Okay, let your arms relax. Start to breathe just normally in and out through the nose, and give your shoulders a nice big roll up, back and down. So really exaggerate this. You want to feel a nice little bit of mobility through the shoulders, letting your neck maybe and your head have a little wiggle side to side as well. And then just reverse that roll through the shoulders. Try to just let the rest of the body relax. Keep breathing through the nose. Okay. Then let your arms drop, and we're just going to start to bring both arms up past the ears. So palms are facing in. And then just start to turn your palms out towards the side of your body. Right palm to the right, left palm to the left. And bring them all the way back, your arms all the way back as far as you can to draw a big circle. So we'll do that again. Palms facing into the body, come up past your ears. Try and keep your ribs and your belly pretty still, not changing too much shape, not flaring. Palms face outwards, and then we squeeze our shoulder blades as we draw the arms as far back as we can. So this might be really tight. Give me one more in this direction. Just really slowly starting to move through the shoulders, and you can make it quite active and sort of squeeze your shoulder blades and make it a little bit more lovely. And then reverse. So the arms come back, 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 shoulder blades squeezing all the way up towards the ears. Palms face in and lower. So start to turn the palms as we raise the arms up, squeeze the shoulder blades, and then lower the arms down one final time. Drawing those nice squeezing circles as we come up, and then lowering all the way down. Okay, lovely. Give the shoulders a little roll, a little shake. And then from there, just start to bring your feet hip width apart still, if they aren't already. If that's a little bit uncomfortable and you want to go wider. But for now, all I want you to do is pop hands on the hips, soft in the knees, and then just start to rise up on the toes and lower the heels. Rising up on the toes, squeeze the calves, slowly lower back down. Having a wall handy is quite good here if the balance is a little bit off. And also just remember to reduce the range. So you don't need to lift super high on the toes. Make sure you listen to the ankles, listen to the legs, the feet, and just slowly move through the motion. Nice and steady. Rise up, squeeze the calves, slow as we lower. So it's like you're rising up, heel, arch onto the ball of the foot, and you're lowering the ball, the arch, the heel. Try not to go up and down with a flat foot. Okay, slow, massaging the foot down, peeling the foot up. Give you one more. Stable through the ankles. We're going to rise up on the toes, hold for 3, nice and high. See if you can get a little bit more steady through the ankles. 2 and lower. Okay, take the feet wider. I like to turn my toes out. This is just a comfy squat position, so whatever works for you. I go toes turned out, feet wider than hips, a little bit wider now, more so than normal because of the bump. And so we're going to start to squat. The arms come up as we reach the hips back like we're sitting on a chair. And you want to have the weight, I like to have the weight shifting back a little bit to light up the glutes, the back of the legs. And then breathing out just to stand, arms drop. So inhale, gaze comes down, forward of those feet. And then exhale to come up. Breathing in like you're sitting on a chair, get the weight back. Exhale to stand. And as those arms reach, try to relax around the neck. Try not to let those shoulders hike up. And then just start to go through that little rhythm, down and up. Start to imagine there's a bit of string from the top of your head, pulling right down away from your tailbone. And as we squat, we want that lovely long 45-degree angle in the spine. We're not dipping excessively in the back and we're not rounding. We want nice long line through the back. Okay, start to speed up a little bit. Warming up through the quads, the hips, the glutes, and just breathing as we move. Inhale, exhale, nice steady breath. Go for 3, 2, and then on the last one, hold it down. Lift up on the ball of the foot, not too high. Lower the heels, stand. Squat, hips stay low, lift the heels, lower them, stand. Try not to rock the entire body forward as we lift and lower the heels. Try to keep the hips low and just move slowly through the ankles. You've got 3. Ooh, try not to go too speedy on the calf raises. That's when you know your body's just cheating, using momentum. Try to slow it down like we did earlier. Ooh. Final one, come down. Just start to lift and lower the heels. Okay, make sure the knees aren't caving in, make sure the shoulders aren't hiking up, and make sure that lower back is nice and long rather than dipping. Pull the ribs in a little bit. You've got 3, maybe we can go lower in the hips. Final 2. Last one. Keep the heels up if we can. Give me a pulse with the hips for 3. Shoulders down. 2. Hold on the 1 without falling and stand. Lovely. Okay, give the legs a little shake. And then just from here, nice easy twist. So feet hip width apart-ish, a little bit wider. I'm going to send my hips back slightly, soften the knees. Taking either hands to thighs, left hand on the left thigh, reach the right arm up. If that feels very comfy, lower onto your left forearm, bring it across both thighs, so the left hand's on the right thigh, left elbows on the left thigh. Look up towards the right thumb. Try to keep your knees in line with one another. Squeeze your shoulder blades, breathe in, and then exhale. Swapping over. If that's too tight of a stretch, right hand on right thigh. If we can come onto the forearm, do that. Left arm up. Breathing in, look to the left thumb. Notice one side might be tighter. Breathing out. Stay there, one more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Lovely. And then from there, just drop into a fold for me. So feet as wide as they need to be. Eyes look in between the legs. Let the head hang. Let the knees be soft or straight. And then just slowly, big bend in the knees and walk down into a 4-point position. So we're gonna have shoulders above wrists, knees under hips. So I want you to have that nice 4-point position. And then all I want you to start to do is breathe. So inhale through the nose, belly fills. Exhale, the belly tightens a little bit. So it's gentle, it's not like you've been punching the tummy, it's nice and gentle. Inhale, belly fills, pulling down towards the floor almost, and then exhale, gently hugging through the belly. Okay, now as we breathe in and out, start to make sure that spine is straight. So again, a bit of string is pulling the crown of your head away from your tailbone. There isn't a big dip and there isn't a big round in the spine. We're nice and flat, like you've got a tray of drinks. Inhale through the nose. Belly fills, exhale. Hug the baby in. Do that once more. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, keeping that back flat, nice and rigid. We're gonna just start to reach the right leg all the way out to the right side of your hip. So your right leg is extended, heel in line with hip, and we're just gonna start to go for a little gentle rock back through the hip. So I like to soften my right knee sometimes. This can feel quite intense. If it does, soften the knee. Rock the hips back, almost like a little squat. Feel the right inner thigh stretch, and then just rock the shoulders above the wrists. So for me, this is something that's become really restricted, or a lot more restricted than it was before pregnancy, maybe through neglect of doing this, or just getting a little bit tighter through the hip, through the right hand side, or through the inner thigh, the adductor muscles. So just start to rock into it, breathing out when we want to relax into the range, and breathing in to come forward. So if you can bring your left butt cheek all the way to your left heel, go for it, but that doesn't necessarily need to be what we're doing. Okay, so next little one, we're going to shift back and we're going to hold. Wherever you get the most intensity out of that right inner thigh. We can come down on the forearms if there's space through the belly. Breathing in, try to shift your weight to the right a little bit more maybe, if that gives you a bit more of a stretch. I have my right foot off the floor, by the way, it doesn't need to be flat, just my heel down. One more big inhale and then big exhale, stretch into it. Lovely. And then rock yourself forward, shoulders above wrists. Okay, bring that right knee under your hip for me. We're gonna keep with that right leg, but I want you to reach, make sure firstly, spine is straight. I want you to reach your right leg back, and I want you to reach your left arm forward. So stretching opposite limbs apart. We're gonna draw the left hand down under the shoulder and the right knee under the hip without resting. And then we're gonna reach those same two limbs away. So the gaze stays forward of the fingers, top of the mat. Spine is long, that includes the neck and the head. And I'm trying really not to move my spine at all. Just moving left arm and right leg. Okay, now breathing in, breathing out, reach. Tighten through that little corset, that little tummy. Inhale to lower. Exhale, reach. Imagine your limbs are reaching and moving through wet cement. Don't make this passive or it'll feel not very interesting. Try to make it really strong and active. Toes reach away from fingers. Lower slowly. Final 3. Exhale. Keep those hips level, hip bones shining to the floor. Inhale as we lower. Okay, final 2. Have a little look at your hips, see if that right hip is opening out to the right, don't let it. And then last one, reach and hold. Fingers stretch away from toes, don't collapse in that right shoulder, reach for 3. Squeeze the right leg, the right butt cheek 2, and then lower the left hand down for me. Keep the hands a little bit wider now, and that right leg stays up. Okay, so we're gonna go into a little push-up. I want you to keep your spine lovely and straight. Then I want you to imagine you're bringing your forehead to the top of that mat as we bend the elbows, the right leg kicks up, push away. Give me one more like that. Elbows bend, forehead to mat, push away. So the leg is rigid so it comes up as you come down. Now we're gonna alternate, coming into the shoulders above the wrist, we pull the right knee in the chest and we try to round the spine a little bit into a cat shape. Then stretch the leg away, the head comes back to neutral, and we go for the push-up. So 1 push-up, 1 knee tuck, round the spine, lengthening away, inhale, lower into the push-up, weight in the arms, tuck and round. Now as we get a bigger bump, the rounding of our spine, that cat shape, gets a little bit smaller and harder to do. So just doesn't need to be big, but you just feel that nice little draw of the knee in, round of the shoulders and the back, lengthen, strong leg into that push-up. Give me 3. You can speed it up if you want a little bit more heart rate and intensity and volume. You can slow it down, you can leave out the push-up, you can do a half push-up, and you just focus on the 4. Final 1 coming up. Okay, leg is long. We're gonna come into that little push-up, and I want you to pulse the push-up for 3. Shoulders away from ears. Squeeze that right glute. 3, 2, hold down on the 1, head to the floor, push up, and then we're gonna drop onto the forearms. Okay, set the knee down for a second. We're gonna go onto the forearms. So we have got our elbows under our shoulders. We've got maybe palms facing in, maybe palms down, whatever's comfy. Or you got a little tripod, hands together. And then all I want you to do is make sure that your knees are under your hips, spine is long, body's nice and straight. And then from there, draw the belly up and in, a little bit of activation through the core. We're going to reach that right leg back and away from us. So we are pointing the right toes. The leg is high again because we're on this little 45-degree angle from head to toe. And then I want you just to start to flex your right foot and pull your right heel into your butt cheek. Like you're squeezing your heel to your bum and you're engaging that hamstring. Then point the right toes, lengthen the leg, keep it high. Flex the foot, squeeze the heel to the bum, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Like you've got a little ball between the heel and the bum. Then point the toes, lengthen the leg. Keep the leg high as we extend. Keep doing that, flex and pull. Point and stretch. Now really quickly, it's easy to collapse in your shoulders. I want you to push away from the floor. I want you to engage through the front and the back of the tummy. And I want you to think about using that wrap around, that corset-like structure of your core. Okay. Curling the heel to the bum, point the toes to lengthen. Nice and steady. Now, next time the leg is long, toes pointed, tap the toes on the floor, lift the leg back up, curl the heel to the bum. Not here for long. Point and stretch, tap the straight leg down, toes to floor, lift, heel to bum. And you will feel your left glute, the supporting leg that's doing nothing, working pretty hard to stabilize and support you. Give me 2. Lengthen, tap, back is strong, lift, curl the heel to the bum. Make sure you're imagining you're moving through that wet cement. Make it active. Don't let this just be lazy. You will feel nothing. Final 1. Leg is long. Tap and lift. Nothing else moves, just the leg. Tap, lift. Leg is straight to the floor. Lift it up. Remember the shoulders, the chest, the back. 2. On the 1, hold that leg up for me. Curl the heel to the bum. And now pulse that foot up and up. Little kicks for 4. Squeeze. 3. Don't let the hips fall to the left. 2. On the 1, hold and squeeze and lower the knee. Lovely. Okay. Before we do a little stretch, come on to the hands and knees for me. And then we're going to turn. I'm going to turn to face the left just so I can face the camera for this first one. Right hand is going to be on the floor. Right knee is just behind the line of the right hand. I want you to turn your right shin to the right so it's hanging off your mat. Left foot comes onto the floor, long down to the bottom of your mat, maybe even off your mat. And we're going to hold in this half kneeling position. So, right knee is down beneath us. Left leg is long to our left side. And then all I want you to think about doing is bringing, first of all, arms wide, like a big T shape. We're going to try to bring our body to lean over to the right. Maybe you bring your right fingertips to the floor, or do bring them to the floor if you can, and then almost push off it and come up about halfway. So don't come all the way up and dump into the left leg. Keep a little lean to the right. Tap the right fingers to the floor. Lift up halfway. Now, this is intense through the right hand side of the body and the left hand side of the body. Left obliques are lifting you up. And you're holding your body as if you are in a toaster. So the front of your body and the back of your body, you can't round forward, you can't roll back. You're staying really straight and really level through the head, the arms, the spine, the leg, the left leg. Okay, then if that feels good, bring your right hand behind your head. No rotating through the waist, just keep the spine straight. Your elbow lowers a little and then we lift up. So we'll not be going anywhere near the floor when that right hand's behind the head. We lower towards the floor, feel the left obliques. Exhale, come up. If you feel it in the left hip, you need to go right more, less weight in the left leg. You could almost lift it, keep it down. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Final progression is both hands behind the head. That is a little bit too much for me, so I'm going to keep my left arm straight. I might even straighten my right arm to give me a little bit less intensity. and make sure I'm doing the exercise properly. Shoulders back, ribs pull in a little bit. Final one, we're gonna come down wherever that feels challenging, and you're gonna pulse up and down a little inch for 3. Feel the left side of that body work. 2. On the 1, you're gonna hold it as low as you can. 3, 2, and come up. Lovely. Okay, bring the knees down, just high kneeling there. I want you to reach or pop your right hand on your right hip. Left arm comes up and overhead. Look up to the left elbow. Give the hips a push to the left. Inhale to the left hand side. Exhale to reach. Lovely. Okay, lower. Now coming down onto our butt cheeks, so onto a seated position. Just go for feet hip width apart. We're going to treat this like a bit of a stretch, and definitely lights up the back of your body, but I want you to see this as a chest opening stretch. So we're going to have our feet hip width apart down on the ground, and we're going to have our fingers pointing outwards and our hands are pretty much under our shoulders. And then all I want you to do is just start to think about planting your feet, planting your hands, pull your shoulder blades back, open your chest, breathing in, spine is nice and straight. Then as we breathe out, push through the feet and the hands, lift your hips and come into that reverse table. Keep your chin tucked, but your gaze is looking up, and you're squeezing your glutes, push the bum up to the ceiling, shoulder blades back and together. Tap the bum down, inhale. Exhale, straight back up. Squeeze your shoulder blades back, keep the chin tucked, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the glutes. Inhale, tap the bum. Let's keep going. Exhale, lift. Knees to shoulders, one straight line. Squeeze the bum, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, tap down. Really intense through the front of the chest. For most people, squeezing your shoulder blades back. Inhale to lower. So as lots of people just generally are seated all the time, shoulders start to round forward, upper back starts to get weak, and the front of the chest starts to get tight. This is a really nice way to reverse those patterns that we all love to live in. Squeeze the glutes, lift up. If you have children, baby, if you've been breastfeeding, always again more rounded. If you've been lifting kids up and down, you're more rounded. So this is really, really nice to do. Squeeze and lift, really strong through the back of the body for 3. Push the feet down, push the hands down, squeeze the butt cheeks, lift up. Inhale, tap. Okay, last little one. Lift and hold up, shoulder blades squeeze, arms are shaking, squeeze the bum a little bit higher for 3, push the ground away, 2, and lower the bum down. Lovely. Okay, just roll the shoulders, come into seated position, give the shoulders a quick roll, roll the neck out. Lovely. And then just coming straight back on to hands and knees. I'm going to grab a little sip of water. Okay, so hands and knees. We've got shoulders under our wrists, or sorry, over our wrists, knees under the hips, and we're going to start off with a little belly breath again, just to get us back into the zone here. So inhaling through the nose, the belly fills. As we exhale through mouth or nose, the belly gently draws in. Do that again. Inhale, let the belly relax. Fill it up. Exhale. Gentle little hug of the baby. Now your spine is straight already. It's active. We're not cat-cawing. The spine doesn't change. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Lovely. Okay. Then from here, the left leg is going to come out to the left side of your left hip. So it's in line with your right knee. It's in line with your left hip. It's in line with your hips. And all we're going to start to do is have that gentle rock of the hips back, stretching in through that left inner thigh. Relax the weight out of the hand, think about the hips taking it, and then rock forward. So you can stay in that for as little time as you want to, or as much time as you want to. You can make it a little bit more active just by rocking forward and back, or you can just hold in it and start to get a little bit deeper through the left hip and compressing through the right hip. Okay, remembering that left foot and toe doesn't need to be clamped to the floor. The left knee can be soft. Listen to the body for a bit of feedback. Okay, so the next final two, just rocking back, rocking forward. You might find one side is a lot more mobile than the other. This one we're gonna hold back. You can maybe come all the way in to relax into it, so you're literally sitting on your right heel. Maybe we can lower onto the forearms, or we just hold it upright a little bit more. Breathe into that left inner thigh. Breathe out, sink the hips down further. Relax shoulders and jaw, really important. Anywhere you are, any stretch, anything, relax your jaw, relax your shoulders, and the rest of the body should relax. One more inhale. Release. Okay, coming on to hands and knees. That left knee comes under the hip. We're going to make sure we're shoulders above wrists again, knees under hips again, and we're going to go for that little bird dog reach. So the left leg extends behind us, the right arm extends in front of us, and our spine is rigid, like we've got a tray of drinks on it that is not allowed to move. We lower the knee under the hip and the hand under the shoulder, and we reach, exhale. Really strong through the spine and the core. Inhale to lower, hover, exhale, reach and stretch. Now when I'm reaching the limbs, it is not passive, floppy, it is really strong. I'm reaching my toes as far away from my fingertips and vice versa as I can. I'm not letting my body roll to the right. I'm keeping centered on the mat with the spine, and my right glute is already working, my left shoulder is working as well. Don't collapse in the left arm. Gaze stays well forward of the left fingertips towards the top of the mat, and we're working hard through the back and the front of that core, the shoulder, the hip. Final two. Slow motion, we're moving the limbs through wet cement. Okay, last one. Reach away. We're gonna hold the arm and the leg. Stretch your fingers further away from the toes, toes further away from the fingers, straight spine for 3, 2, the hand comes down, the leg stays up, hand maybe a little bit wider. We're going to go for that push up, left leg stays rigid, forehead to the mat, push away. We're going to go into that knee tuck, round the spine, left knee to nose-ish, reach the leg away, straight spine, lower in the push up, weight is coming forward in that push up. Tuck the knee, tuck the chin. Exhale, reach. Lower in the push-up, try to bring your forehead towards the top of the mat so you actually get weight through the chest. Tuck and round. Okay. Now, this could be slow. This could be maybe half a little press up. This could be speedier, more about volume, more about getting a little bit of a heart rate lift, or we just stay nice and slow motion, focusing wherever we are on the form is key. So let's not forget about how we're moving. We want to get that small round through the spine when we do that little cat tuck of the knee. We want to get the weight as far forward as possible in the push-up. And we're going to feel that right glute and hamstring working on that supporting leg. You've got 2. Exhale as we tuck and round. Stretch the leg away. Weight forward. Feel the chest. Final one coming up. We're going to hold the leg long and we're going to lower in that push up. Give me a pulse through the chest. Push the floor away. 3, shoulders back. 2, leg high. Hold it down on the 1, push up. Okay. Knee down for a second. We're going to come on to our forearms. Let's move swiftly. We know what we're doing. Maybe hands together, elbows under shoulders, or hands apart. Does not matter, whatever's comfier. We're going to make sure that spine is straight. Lift through the belly. Extend the left leg up high. Flex your left toes. Curl your left heel to your butt cheek. Point the toes. Squeeze the leg. Keep it up. Okay. Belly draws in, hips stay level. Curl your heel to the bum. Squeeze the bum. Point the toes. Lengthen that leg. Keep it high. Heel to bum. Point and stretch. Okay, so it's active. Don't be lazy. We're moving that leg through wet cement. We're making sure that while we've got 45, 50 minutes on the mat, we are making the most out of it. It's all mobility, stretch, and strength, but you really want to just think about how well can I do each little bit of this? How much can I avoid being lazy and just relax into it? Make it strong. Okay, don't fall into those shoulders for me. Push the chest away from the floor. Next time the leg is long, we tap the straight leg down, toes to floor, lift the leg up, curl the heel to the bum. Okay, have a look and check those hips are level. Straighten the leg, tap the toes down, lift the leg up, curl your heel to the bum. My right glute, that leg that looks like it's doing nothing, is working extremely hard here. Core, wrapping around through that corset, working hard. Back, shoulders, working hard. You've got 2 more on that combo. Neck is long, little tuck of the chin. I'm not being lazy through my leg. I'm keeping it active, squeezing, controlling. Okay, let's go final one. Keep the leg up for me, keep it straight. Tap the toes down and up. Keep that leg long for 3. Feel that right glute. Don't let the hips fall to the right. 2. On the 1, hold the leg up, curl the heel to the bum, little pulses, foot up and down. 4, squeeze the bum, don't change the spine. 3, 2, hold on the 1, set the knee down. Lovely. Okay, hips have a little rock back and forward. Come onto the hands for me. I want you to have the left hand, let me think, yes, left hand center of the mat, left knee center of the mat. We're going to turn so the left foot comes off the back of the mat, right leg extended, and we come up into our half kneeling. So basically, if I lost you there, come into that half kneeling position. The right leg is extended, the left knee is planted. Remember, if you need anything under your left knee, pop it under. Okay, so we start off arms out wide. This little mermaid, we keep our weight shifted to the left, so we never actually come up shoulders above hips. We keep off to the left. The right foot is always light. Okay, bring the left fingertips down to the floor, and you can almost jump off it, coming up about halfway. Bring the left fingertips down, lift up. Now, head back, chest back, hips forward slightly. We're in a straight line from head to the right foot, and we are focusing as if we're in the middle of a toaster. We don't touch the back and we don't touch the front. Bar this wee left foot, ignore it. If this feels good, guys, bring your left fingertips behind your ear. You're keeping your body in that lovely open position. We are just leaning to the left. You're going to go nowhere near the floor now with that elbow, hopefully, and you just lift up a few inches. So feel the right side of your body work, your obliques. Lowering down and then lift up. But if you're really feeling it through your right hip, you're coming up too high. You're just dumping in the hip. So keep leaning to the left. Keep focusing on the weight being to the left-hand side. Okay, so as we're lifting up, you want to think about that right-hand side of your body doing the work rather than the left. Focusing on obliques, keeping the weight to the left. Okay, maybe both hands can go behind the head. That's your final progression. Remembering that you feel like you're in the middle of a toaster. We don't fall back, we don't fall forward. Whew, okay, I'm gonna keep my right arm reaching up for a little bit more help. You've got 3. Chest open, elbows wide, arms wide. 2. A little bit of range is all we need. Final 1, we're gonna come down and hold it down. Give me a little pulse for 3, 2. Last bit on this side, evening out. On the 1, hold it down. Oh, lift up, come onto both knees for me, and just bring left hand on left hip. Right arm reaches up and over. Breathing in, look up towards that right elbow. Breathe out. And release. Okay, come onto your butt cheeks for me again. So seated position. We are going to just come into a little bit of bridge series, a little bit of bridging. So what I want you to do is just gently lie yourself down. So I'm going to come onto my side and then roll onto my back And then we're not going to be here for too long, so we're just going to have our heels pretty close towards our butt cheeks. We're going to have our arms relaxing down heavy on the mat by our side, so our chest is open. And then from here, feel like you are, just do a few little pelvic tilts. So as you lie here, there's a little gap underneath your lower back for most of us between the floor and the spine. I want you to press that gap or that lower back gently down into the floor. That tuck of the tailbone, feeling like you're tucking your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Excuse the dog. Then we're going to do the opposite direction, so you let that arch come into play. You've got that little rounding of the spine, ribs almost open up, and then we press the lower back into the floor, tuck the tailbone, draw the ribs in. Do one more, release. Then hold that tuck so the lower back is in towards the floor. We're not shoving it, just that little bit of connection. Keeping this tuck now, keeping that little pelvic tilt. Arms heavy. We're going to lift the hips up, squeeze the bum, and then we're going to tap the tailbone down, keeping the length through the spine. Squeeze the glutes, lift up, and then breathe in, tap the tailbone. So we have a neutral spine, but a little bit more exaggerated now that we've got this bump, the weight in the front of the body, a little bit more of a conscious tuck under of the tailbone, because it's so easy to be pulled out of that position, out of the neutral, into an extended spine. So I want you to think about squeezing your glutes and driving your heels down into the floor, your whole feet down into the floor, and just start to make sure the ribs aren't opening up to the ceiling as we lift and lower. Okay, then all I want you to start to do is lift and hold up. Now this might not feel good, it might feel a little bit too uneven through the hips, the pelvis, so if that's the case, keep both feet down. But if we can, right knee comes almost in towards your belly, so you're pulling your knee in towards your chest. Lower the hips, lift the hips for 3. Keeping the hip bones level, so don't let your right hip way down to the floor. The movement is small. Feel the left glute. Final 1, hold it up. See if we can straighten the right leg to the ceiling, and we just pulse at the top of the range, hips lift an inch and lower an inch for 3. Push through the floor with that left foot, 2. On the 1, hold the hips up. Right foot comes down, lift the hips square off again. See if you can pull your left knee in towards your chest. Remember, ignore the single leg option if we need to. Lower the hips, lift. It's a small movement, but it's pretty effective. Squeeze the right butt cheek on the way up. Inhale, soften to release. Last 1. Hold the hips up for me. Straighten the left leg if you can, and pulse the hips. Just up an inch and down. Pushing through that right foot for 3. 2. Hold on the 1. Left foot lowers. Both hips are lifted and level. Glutes are squeezing. All I want you to do is raise the arms up above the shoulders if we can, and then start to rise up slowly on the toes and lower the heels. Keep your thighs pretty strong and hips pretty stable, or very stable. Lift up on the heels, lower. Constantly engaging my glutes. Lift the heels, lower. Can I squeeze my glutes, soften my shoulders for 3. Try not to let the whole body bump up and down. Just focus on the ankles moving. Squeeze the bum again, tuck the tailbone again, draw the ribs in. 2. On the 1, hold the heels up, squeeze the bum a little bit higher. And now imagine you are pulling the ball of the foot to your heels. Maybe lower the heels an inch, pulling the ball of your foot to your hips. Imagine you're dragging your feet back on the mat towards your body for 5. Keep those hips up, keep dragging those feet for 3. Squeeze and hold 2, and lower on the 1. Lovely. Okay, from there, roll onto your side and then roll on to all 4s. So we've got hands and knees. Last little bit of work here. We're going to come into a hover. So knees under hips, toes tucked. Let's get that flat, strong back. Gaze slightly forward, ribs in. Breathe in through the belly, let it fill. Exhale, tighten. Inhale, let the belly fall. Exhale, draw it in. Okay, breathing in. Then as we exhale, tighten the tummy, hover the knees. I'm going to inhale, press into downward dog. You could lower the knees if you prefer not to come into the downward dog. And then exhale into your hover. So you're either just lowering and lifting on the exhale, inhale to lower, or you're breathing out to lift and you're going to inhale to downward dog. You're going to exhale to the hover. So it's either hover to downward dog or hover to rest. Now, you want to get a little stretch on the hamstrings as we're in that downward dog if we're coming into it. You want to load the quads, load the core and the shoulders in the hover. And you want to make sure that as we're hovering, it's really conscious. You're drawing the abdominals gently in. You're hugging the baby. You're engaging through the front and the back of the core. We've got 3. Inhale to drop in that stretch. Exhale to hover. Final 2. Lovely. Okay. Last one. We're going to hold that hover. Breathe out. Hold for 5. Shoulders above wrists. Knees nice and low. Belly in. 3. Inhale, exhale. 2. 1. Downward dog. If it's comfortable, pedal it out. Feet are nice and wide if they need to be. If a downward dog is not comfy for you, drop the knees. Come into a child's pose. Final breath here. Let everything start to slow. And then everybody's going to lower the knees and come into a little child's pose here. So what I want you to do is have your knees open, toes together. Hands reach forward, hips reach back. Sinking down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Then rock yourself forward. I want you to switch the position so your knees are coming in, your feet are coming out, and then you gently rock back into a weird, very different feeling child's pose. So this will be a lot more restricted. Knees in, feet out, internally rotating through the hips. Maybe round your spine a little bit here, sinking the weight back in the hips. Let's do that one more time on each. So toes touch, knees open. Usually a lot more comfortable for people. Reach back, sit back. Inhale, feel the belly fill. Exhale, release. Rock yourself forward. Knees come in, feet, toes come out. And we try to rock back. Breathing in. Maybe rounding the spine. Probably having a shift from side to side. And then rolling forward. Okay, from there we're going to come to seated. So I want you to have butt cheeks on the mat. Feet are going to be out the width of the mat, maybe even wider. And I want you then just to bring your hands to the floor behind you. Both knees fall to the left. Actively press the knees down. Both knees roll over to the right. Chest lifted. And again, knees come over to the left. And up and over to the right. Into that middle position, so you're still leaning back, you're still seated. Extend the left leg away a little bit. Bring your right ankle foot over your left thigh and try to shuffle that left foot in closer to your hip. Lift your chest up, shoulder blades back, and I want you to actively press your right thigh away from your body. Feel that right glute, the outside of your right hip opening up, releasing, getting a stretch. Take a big breath in. Chest open, take a big breath out. Push the right thigh away using your muscles. One more, inhale. Exhale. Slide the left foot away, right foot down, left ankle over right thigh. Drag the right foot in as much as you can. Chest open, shoulders back. We're going to push the left thigh away from the body. Breathing in, sit tall. Breathe out, push the thigh further. Feel that left glute outside of the hip. Breathing in, breathing out. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Slide the right foot away, left foot away, and legs are long. Just come up to seated for me. Legs can be crossed if that feels better. Just whatever feels like a relaxed, comfortable position. Start to sit up nice and tall, spine is straight. And then just walking the hands forward, arms forward. Round your spine for me. This does not need to be a big fold. Round your spine as much as it can. Let your head drop, chin to chest. I can feel like quite a restricted, tight little part through the back of the neck. Let your head have a little sway from side to side. And then just roll yourself back up so you're seated tall. Give your shoulders a nice roll. Breath in, breath out. And very, very well done.